So I want to apologise in advance for any random background tweeting you hear. There is currently a bird's nest with lots of baby birds in our roof over here. And they are very loud and excited right now and all day and always. Hey, it's Freya and this week's theme is snow. This theme is actually very ironic for me to talk about considering the weather here at the moment is pretty much the opposite to snow. Well, I mean, not right at this exact moment. It's actually quite a cloudy day today, which is surprising and completely different to the last few days. We have now reached the period in the Australian weather cycle in which 40-degree days are irregular, which is incredibly inconvenient for me considering I like wearing winter clothes. Speaking of winter, seamless segue, snow. Despite the fact that snow just isn't a thing in the part of Australia that I live in, it has become a big part of my childhood and also a big part of Christmas for me. The thing is, Australian media is incredibly Americanized. Well, I mean, both heavily influenced by America and Britain. I don't know if there's a word for that. Britanized? I mean, westernized doesn't really quite cover exactly what I'm trying to say here, but you get the point. But because most of the TV shows and movies that I used to watch as a kid were British or American, snow was something that I have come to love. It always seemed so nice and soft and beautiful on screen, and it created this whole unearthly atmosphere that I really loved that was just so different to everything else I'd experienced being as I live in New South Wales in Australia. And despite the amount of times my mum had said to me, hey Freya, you know, snow kind of isn't that great, it's wet and cold and etc, etc, I clung to this idea that I had built up. And when I actually believed in Santa, which wasn't for very long, and even when I didn't believe in Santa, I would always construct these letters to Santa near Christmas time wishing for snow and nothing else. Looking back on that, it's probably really good that none of my wishes got answered because snow in this part of Australia would mess up the earth more than everything else already has. And I mean, if you want to dig deeper, you can probably attribute a large part of this to my idolization of Britain, which was much more prominent when I was a small child. But I think it's also because I just sort of subconsciously believed that in experiencing snow, I would become more connected to not only the people I looked up to on TV, but also their lifestyles and the general story and situation that was happening in that moment. It was kind of like living the fantasy that I was watching. To this day, I have not experienced a natural snowfall or natural snow whatsoever. The only time I really experienced snow is when I went skiing on a trip to Canberra with my primary school, and 9-year-old me was very disappointed to find out that man-made snow, especially man-made snow at a ski field, is pretty much ice. However, since then, I have come to love snow for different reasons. I mean, part of me still longs to live the dream of my childhood fantasies, but the other part of me just likes snow now because it's incredibly aesthetically pleasing, and I just like cold weather in general. I pretty much like it now for all of the things that people generally hate it for. And I mean, I can't really talk, I guess, considering I haven't actually experienced snow firsthand, but I just sort of love weather that everyone else finds crap. The freezing cold temperatures and the just general wetness and grossness of everything, and the fact that you have to wear 5 layers all the time, and the fact that everything is just dim and grey and dark and gloomy and beautiful. It's the exact opposite of Australian summer and the exact weather I long for. And I mean, it's not even so much the cuddling up with a book and or a cat and or tea in front of a fire while watching the snow outside, because although, you know, I really long for that part of it, I also just long for the being out in the snow and getting wet and just that whole experience that for most people is horrible. I don't know, maybe I'll completely change my tune when I actually experience snow, but snow is definitely something that I really look forward to experiencing. Let me know down in the comments what your opinions on snow are. Is it good? Is it bad? Do you think I will hate it? Do you hate it? If you're a fellow Australian, do you associate snow with your idea of Christmas? Or do you only associate the harsh Australian summer with Christmas? Because I'm kind of a mixture of both. If you liked these thoughts on snow, give give this video a thumbs up, or hey, you could subscribe too, because that would be really cool. Don't forget to check out everyone's social media links down below and to look back on our channel during the week to find everyone else's videos. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!